roll, please.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-dum.
The one and only MA1 in the building. I'm really, really excited to be speaking to you today.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, very
happy to be here. Definitely.
And do you know what? I have to say, I'm extremely. Sorry, get a bit.
Get in. Closer. Get closer.
Does it in close? Okay, no, too much.
All good.
I have to say, it's really, really exciting for me to be interviewing you because, as I was saying before, you've been integral in my music history.
I appreciate
In
that.
terms of like growing up, raving to your music, now as a DJ, listening, playing your sounds.
Yeah.
So for me, this is like a full circle moment, and I really do appreciate the opportunity.
No, well, I've been doing it for quite a while. Quite a long time.
Yes.
I probably started DJing in 1998.
99.
So we're talking garage times. That's really my history. That's when I started when I was 18.
Right.
So yeah, nothing. I wasn't big or anything, but at low level. But I was buying records, learned to mix and stuff. Really loved the music. I was a raver at first, probably like yourself, and just wanted to get into music. And then I used to DJ and radio and stuff. And it just went through the whole scene, whole garage scene. Didn't become big in that scene. Started producing a little bit.
Okay.
Back then.
So even like around those times at 18.
So yeah, so I'd say when I was about 20, that's probably when I started to try and produce. I always wanted to try and make music and try and bring that energy, to places that I was playing.
Yeah.
So I really started back in the day on, there was a program on the PlayStation and it was called Musique 2000.
Okay.
Right? So that's really where I started to do a few drum loops and a couple of tracks. I never released any of those tracks, but it gave me the foundation to produce.
Right. So you started mixing with vinyl?
I started mixing with, first of all, it was like drum and bass vinyls at one of my friends' houses.
Yes.
And then I started to go to like Black Market Records and Uptown Records, which is around
this
this sort of area.
Going in just to look around and try and be.
So I used to come up here every Friday and Saturday with my student loan money, basically, and be spending it on all of the records every Friday and Saturday. That's when they get their new deliveries.
Okay.
So, and then I'd take those tunes, those vinyls, and I'd be playing those on radio. So when I first started, it would be more four to the floor vocal stuff. There was two-step stuff around, like Tina Moore, Never Let You Go. Those tunes were around, but then obviously it evolved into the more two-step. Onto the grime, but really where the grime scene comes in, that's where I liked it at first, but then I sort of decided it just wasn't me.
Do you know, because I've read through the genres,
okay,
and I've witnessed, you witnessed women's house and garage,
seen it all,
and then it kind of, the MCs went one way with grime.
Yeah. It's just, I would say, even though I've got love for it now and I understand it a lot more now, obviously later on in life, being on Rinse FM and stuff much later, so there was a lot of grime when I was on there at the time. But at that time, I'd say, 2001, 2002, 2003, when that crossover was kind of happening, I wasn't into it as much. It's only because when I first came into the game, musically raving, and my first raving experiences were garage when I was 16, 96, it was all like the bumpy, happy vocal tracks, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then to go through, obviously things change, there's always been evolution of music, but when it changed into that grime sound, I didn't quite get it. The first tunes, I thought, these are cool, they sound like garage, but as it moved on, I was like, do you know what? This is not really me. And then I made the decision around that time, I say 2003, 2004, to actually give up music.
Really?
Yeah, I actually stopped altogether.
So how long was that hiatus? How long was
it? Wasn't very long. I think I stopped in, let's say 2004. Okay. I would still make music at home, messing around. I had Fruity Loops at the time. So
it was production software?
Yeah, it's on the PC.
Okay. So
my friend gave me a copy. I was just messing around, making a few drum loops and stuff, and nothing I ever released. But so during, I had a year off maybe, no music, just had a job, going to the office and being quite normal. And then I got invited to a party that I actually thought was going to be a garage rave.
Okay.
It was DJ Fever, basically,
Fever,
from the originals and Circle.
Fever.
He invited me to one of his birthday parties, and I expected it to be a garage rave. So I pulled up, went into the rave, and then everyone in there was playing house. So I was completely confused and bemused.
Okay.
I was like,
what year would you say that was?
That was 2005, I'd say.
Because that was there was that transition.
Yeah.
From like garage into house.
It's a weird one.
Garage imploded in a lot of ways in the scene, like.
Yeah, kinda. There were different problems. Obviously, probably with garage they couldn't get hold of clubs, so they couldn't do, because of the trouble, they couldn't do club nights, and that destroys the club scene, doesn't it? If they can't get hold of venues. And I remember at the time, 2004 sort of times, there was grime and stuff. You know, you got Deja Vu FM, you got Rinse FM, but on a lot of other stations, they started playing a lot of old school garage for some reason. It's just all old school garage, and it was like, I didn't understand why they playing that. And then going to this rave that I'm talking about, DJ Fever's birthday party, it was all house, and I was completely confused. Okay. They were playing stuff like DJ Gregory, Attend One, Jazztronic, Samurai, and it's like, and everyone was raving in a way that was like what I recognised from garage. Okay. So then it really bended my mind.
What do you mean by that? You have to the way they dance,
everything, the way they dance, the vibe. You know, it was, you know, mixed, male, female. Everyone seemed to be having a really, really good time. Yeah. And I'm in there listening to music I'd never heard before. And I was just like, what's going on? Okay. And I remember the next day I called him. Was I called Fever? I called one of them, him or Tipper or something. And I was like, what's going on? What was that music you play? It sounds strange now. Yeah. But that's literally, I loved it. I knew I loved it. I felt the vibe of it. And I was like, what's that music you're playing? And they were like, they found it funny, innit? Because they were probably in it for a little while. Mm-hmm. And then from there, it was like my journey to sort of find the music then. Okay. Yeah, nice to, again, because I knew Black Market Records, Uptown Records, this is all I really knew when it comes to vinyls. I came up to Black Market Records and I had a CD by DJ Icy. I see. It was called Education HQ. Okay. Yeah. So I took that CD, I took it to was it Uptown Records or Release the Groove near Piccadilly. And I gave them the CD and I was like, I need every tune on this CD. Yeah, the day before Shazam. Yeah. Before you could Shazam. No, I didn't have a clue. Like, I want this. I was like, I need that track 7, track 8. Like, I just wanted it all. And I just remember the guy in the shop. He was listening to the tracks, and all he said to me was, "Oh, mate, these tunes are really old." And I was like, "What?" But I think that scene at that early time, people just picking old tunes and just a different mashup, because it was like soulful house, deep house, vocal house, broken beats as well, all mixed together. And it was an underground scene, and it wasn't something that, you know, the traditional house people knew. Okay. They were like, what's this? They didn't know. I didn't know they didn't know. But they did have 1 or 2 tracks. I had like 3 tunes or so. And then I ended up going to one of my friend's house. His name's DJ Abel. He was on Rinse FM with me as well. Okay. But Abel. Yeah. But I went to his house and I was like, listen, I need these tunes. And he basically had all the records. And he was like, get a pen and paper. You need this, you need that, you need this, you need that. So he helped me get my first batch of tunes. Okay. Yeah. So was it still vinyl? Still vinyl. Still vinyls. Yeah. So a lot of people were buying records from a website called Juno. It's called Juno.co.uk. They're still around. Juno Download, but that's where we used to buy our records. Everyone did. Okay. Yeah. So that's really how I first got to the house thing. But then I still didn't have no bookings. Okay. Right. I remember you being like, your name is a name that I would see MA1 and be like, oh yeah, MA1. So I know it's gonna be, you know, your name's up there. So when did you start actually getting books? It was quite soon afterwards, because you got so. And I've said this before, is that I had a lot of experience in garage. So I spent let's say 96 to 2002, 2003 in that scene. Yep. So obviously I knew a lot of people. I met people. I wasn't like the most famous person, but people knew who I was and stuff. So I found out that an old garage promoter that I knew, or 2 of them, Milton and Blinky, they did a rave called Red Carpet. Yeah, that's what I heard. I was there. Yeah. So I was like, okay, well I know those 2, so let me go to the rave. I think Tipper took me. He let me come with him. I just wanted to see what was going on, and I went there like armed with a CD, like an old school one. Yeah. A thing which people don't really do no more, and I don't know if it works, probably not. But I had a mix CD, and I saw, you know, Milton, who I knew from. He used to do like Climax and all these old raves back in the day. And I was like, I've got a CD, like, have a listen. But then you don't expect them to really listen to it. Yeah. I was just like, here's a CD, here's I'm on it now. Like, so I found I gave it to Milton and Blinky, who used to do License to Rave. And I left it with them. And then that week, Blinky rang me and was like, that CD's sick. And then he said to me, what I want you to do, because I come and play, so I used to play early. Yeah. But he was like, I want to create a mix CD with an advert on it, and that wasn't really around. That interaction that you're telling me, because for me, I learned music through those CDs. Yeah, you would, You would get these CDs given out, you come out, you find it on your car. Yes. And it was an education.
tunes, and I thought sometimes when you go into the raves, you wouldn't get to hear the tunes and the magic that they put on the CDs.
I say there were mixed CDs around. There were people doing mixed CDs. I think Super D had a mixed CD out and about, but that CD, I don't want to say it was the first, but it was one of the first.
Say it was the first.
It's hard to say. It's hard to be.
It was early.
It was early, and one of the first CDs with adverts on the beginning and end and throughout the CD. Okay. And I just said to him, he said to me, "Can you do that? Can you create a CD and reproduce it?" And now I had no way of doing this really, but I was like, yes, because I really wanted to be a part of it and I wanted to get involved. So that's what I did. I did the mix, that was fine. I had some production software so I could put the adverts on the end, and that was fine. But when it came to reproducing the CD, I don't know if you remember back in the day, people used to have a big tower with 8.
20.
I didn't have none of that. I think it might have been before the days that those things came.
What did you do, one by one?
Yeah, I had one. Yeah, I had my sister's HP laptop. It's old school, and I had another CD drive, and I just record one, and I think he wanted like, I don't know, 100 or something. And I remember that day I did 80, so I was a bit like, oh no, I haven't done enough. I was like, I haven't done enough. Like, I failed my mission. So I went to see him on the Sunday, and I gave him a bag of CDs, and I was like, I've only done 80. I'm sorry. And he was like, oh no, it's cool. And I was like, oh, well, why is he not upset? So it's cool. So I went in a rave, played my early set or whatever. I left, and then the following day, everyone was telling me, oh my God, they were playing your CD from every car. Like every single car on the street was playing your CD because they'd given it out that night. Yeah. And that's really where that started. So that's how I got...
Powerful. That's a powerful, significant moment.
That changed my life in a way.
That statement changed your life. I want to ask you, so what does music mean to you in your life then? Because it's clearly been significant, prolific.
I've always been into music from when I was young. I've got an older brother and he always used to have like a lot of soul and funk vinyls. Yeah. So I've always liked music from when I was young. I didn't really start buying music until I was like, I don't know, 13 or something. But one of the first CDs I ever bought was like SWV I'm Right Here on the CD.
I got that.
Yeah, with all the remixes, the gold CD single with all the remixes on it. So I've always liked music. I've always bought different genres of music. But when I was young, I was really into like hip hop and stuff. Like deeply bang on it. It's only when I got to college where everyone's raving, everyone's going out now, that I got into dance music. So music has been an integral part of my life. I love it. That's like, cool. If I didn't make no money out of it, I'd still probably make it. You know, I still listen to it. I like to create. I like to create music. Even stuff that people have never heard, I just like sitting down at that computer and making music. So it's a massive part of my life.
So what is your creative process then when making music?
So for me, I use a program called Logic on the Mac, yeah. So I've come through different programs. Obviously, Music 2000 when I first started. I moved on to a program called Fruity Loops, which is on the PC. I moved on to another program called Reason, which people still use. Then I moved on to Logic. So when I'm making a track, I will go for the drums first. I'll always always.
That's your foundation.
For me, yeah. Other people like do the synth sounds and all that first. I always go for the drums, and I want like sort of a tough sound that I can get down with.
Great.
Because sometimes, as you know, as a DJ, sometimes those dub tracks that have got no vocals, it just beats and bass and stuff. That's really the driving force. For me, it's the driving force of the track.
But what makes a track stand out then, for you, in your opinion?
I don't know, it's difficult. It's different with different tunes. Sometimes it's a vocal, it's like the vocal, oh, that's tough. People are going to latch onto that. Sometimes it's literally just the drive of the tune, the deepness of the bass, the highs, and how you bring it together. Okay. And when you make a tune, it's difficult with tunes, making tracks as well, because you make a track, you could be spending a month on it, it goes nowhere. Sometimes I can make a tune, it's like, I don't really care about this, and then it goes. And I'm for real.
It's always the way. It's always the way. What you think is this is going to be a banger, nobody pays any attention.
You don't know. Obviously, I like everything I make,
yeah,
but you don't know, and that's probably the case with High Definition when I made that tune. I made it. I was asking a few friends, "What do you think? What do you think?" And they were like, "Oh, we like it." Yeah, but when I gave it to people, no one played it. Honestly, no one played it.
I've still played it. I played the other day. I played Fish Bar Reunion, and that was one of the first ones that I did for.
Okay,
it's from that era. It's a high definition tune.
But it took time. It took time for people to hear it and then be like, "Oh, well, what's that?" And then what's that? And what's that? It's not absolutely everything I put out that people just jump on. It takes time sometimes.
All right. So, who's inspired your music journey then?
Oh my days. House-wise, maybe, if I think about some of the early producers, number one would be DJ Gregory's a French producer who made
Yes.
the 10 One and Worst tracks. Because his tunes were the first ones I heard in the scene.
Yes.
So that's the vibe I'm coming from. So DJ Gregory, Hard Soul, I think they're Swedish, I think, don't want to get it wrong. Masters at Work, yeah. Like Kenny Dope in particular makes a lot of
Kenny
dubby,
Dope, yeah,
club
like the
focus
sounds.
stuff. And then Louis Vega comes with the soulful, vocal, melodic, musical side. And I think I've got all of that. Do you know what I mean? Just different times.
You draw from different.
Yeah. So all those
Variations.
early producers, they're the vibe that I'm sort of coming with.
Okay, so what would you say the challenges producers face in today's music industry?
Oh, come with the big questions now, yeah.
Yeah, it's getting gritty now.
No, it's difficult. I tell you what's difficult, probably, is that there's a lower barrier to entry when it comes to production. So,
Expand on that.
so basically, back in the day, so if I go back to garage times,
Yeah.
you needed a full-on studio to make a tune. You needed sampler, you needed a desk. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't really just make a tune at home. I'd have to be renting studio time or go to someone that has that equipment because I didn't have whatever thousand it costs to have the equipment.
Yeah.
But now today, anyone and everyone could buy a laptop, and then you could buy Logic for £200, and then you could start getting busy, which I'm not against. I'm for it in many ways because it allows people to have musical expression. But then what happens is you get to that problem of Spotify where they say that people are putting out, I don't know, 1,000 tunes a day. So therefore, how are you going to stand out? How is somebody going to find your music? That's where it comes back to how you market yourself and how you're going to show people, where some people that are incredibly creative, they lack the marketing sound.
It's interesting you say that because one of the questions is how important is social media? Because it's like in this day and age, I mean, you can make magic and you can have so much beautiful music in your possession, but if nobody knows it's there and nobody knows that you're making it, does it ever really get a chance to get
that's
heard?
true. So the marketing and social media is probably it's very important.
Yes.
But it's sometimes hard for people to recognise that. There's a lot of people that are good at making music. They might be very technical and stuff in the studio, and they can make a brilliant sounding track, but they're quite introverted. So therefore, what will then lead them to the point that they'll pick up their camera and jump on TikTok and go, "Hey guys, I've got a new track out." Da 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 da. So I know so many people that I think are talented, but that part of the game they haven't got. I mean, it is a game.
It is definitely.
So you have to make a decision whether you want to play it or not. I understand some people just don't want to, and that's fine. And they'll find their people.
And they'll find their way.
They will find their way, and they'll find their people. But it just helps because you've got to think that people are 3 times as big as me, posting 3 times a week. You know, they made it. They might be millionaires, or whatever. Yeah. They're posting.
Yes.
You know, because they want people to see their stuff and whatever. So there's definitely a value on it. And it's a world that people are on all the time. They're on it all the time. It's very important.
It's very, very important. I think for me, social media has been quite powerful.
Yeah.
Because I understand social media. When I did start DJing, I think it's very much about posting, pushing yourself forward.
You have to.
Marketing, videos. People buy into personality sometimes.
Personality is the thing,
If you get your personality, they're more likely to listen to
I agree. And then so like
music.
at times where I might be like, okay, do you know what? I'm not going to post for a while. People like, if I see them in the street, they're like, yo, how you been? Where you been? You're right. Like I've been missing. I'm like, no, I've been here doing this. But they haven't seen me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So even though it's like, it's not the real world, but it is interlinked with the real world, with outside.
All right.
So, yeah.
Right. Time is ticking on. I mean, it's really interesting speaking to you.
No,
You've
I'm
got
enjoying
such a
it.
breadth of knowledge. I mean, we'll have to bring you back.
Oh,
for more
anytime.
questions.
Anytime.
But
No problem.
I actually do want to hear your music. So let's do a quick fire round.
Okay, so
if you could play anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
Interesting. No, I played some places internationally. I've been to like Germany and France, but I was thinking probably the US or Australia.
Oh, that's interesting.
They're further afield, so it's always good to experience different crowds and different people. You always get, as a producer and a DJ, you get inspiration from the crowds that you play in front of.
Okay.
Yeah, you get energy from them. And I was meant to go to Seattle years ago, but I didn't have the visa, so I couldn't go.
Seattle?
Yeah. So I would like to go there 100% in the future.
Seattle
maybe.
sounds like a plan.
Yeah, we'll see.
What would your DJ or producer superpower be and why?
Interesting question. So for me, I would say it's the connection with the crowd when I'm playing.
Okay.
I personally like to give them something they know, and then something they don't. And it's like a wave. To me, when I want to play, my sets are like a wave. So I'll take them out to see them. I'll be like, what's going on? And then bring them back. And then that's how I like to play when I can. It's not always possible, but it's that connection with the crowd and being present.
I think that's very key. I think for me, that's the connection with the audience.
Yeah.
It really elevates me and it pushes me forward. And I think what you're saying about educating, giving them something that they're nostalgic about, but then slapping them with something that they haven't heard. That's very, very powerful.
It's important. I think because back in the day, a lot of us or people that came around when I came around were on radio. So therefore we were able to play on radio every week and show people new stuff. And we play out a lot, but we don't always get a chance to play new tunes. So that's why I used to try and give them that little something.
All right. What music projects do you have coming up that the viewers should know about?
I can't say anything.
Top secret.
Do you know what? No, I've got...
Sorry, guys.
No. I'm working on stuff. I'm working on stuff. I was literally working on stuff the other night. I just don't want to say anything because in the past I've said things and it hasn't happened, and then it all goes wrong. But I'm definitely working on stuff. I have been a little bit quiet. I said to you before, I just ran the marathon. So I was here and that took all of my time.
Okay.
But I'm back.
So you're back.
So I'm working on a few bits and pieces and hopefully the people get to hear them soon.
And lastly, where can the viewers find your music and you on social media?
Well, my music's everywhere. It's on Spotify, it's on Bandcamp. Most of my handles are DJ MA1, luckily.
DJ
so
MA1.
Instagram and all that. I think my TikTok is MA1 DJ. Someone took my handle the other way around.
Did they?
Yeah, but I'm doing a few bits on there and I do...
No one can recreate.
No,
they can go around saying whatever way they want to say it.
But I am doing...
MA1 is MA1.
But I'm doing a few bits. I'm doing a few bits on TikTok and speaking, talking about history of music and stuff and different like funky scene and all that sort of stuff. I think people like to know the history of stuff because I don't think it's always obvious where we've all come from, and not everyone does interviews all the time.
I'm definitely going to check that out, and I'm going to say, guys, check out MA1 and his music, and I'm going to shuffle off now, and you're going to hear some of these amazing productions. I'm really excited. Thank you very much.
Cheza, cheza, furahie. into your eyes, you look into my eyes, what we feel is magic. When you're around, I feel safe in your arms, I don't need to panic. It's you, it's you, it's you, it's you, only you can have it. It's you, it's you, it's you, it's you, only you can have it. When you call out my name, I go crazy. When you touch me, baby, I get shivers down my spine. And when you kiss me, you make me wanna, you make me wanna. When you call out my name.
Yes, MA1. What a guest mix, what an interview. Big thank you for coming down. Up next, you got the one and only DJ Naughty or N Fostel, whatever you want to call it. Listen, MA1, thank you for coming down. Absolute pleasure. Listen, brilliant interview. Let's go.